Welcome back to iHeart Crypto. If you haven't already, hit that like button and hit that subscribe button, and let's get right into it. So Bitcoin coming in at around 37,300. Currently, we are still in this massive downtrend according to our Heikin-Ashi candles. And originally, we had thought we would be hitting this area right here and getting a bounce there, but we ended up getting a bounce from about 33,000 approximately. And we thought we would come back up here to test 40,000. So our bounce, we ended up being pretty accurate with that. Our bounce did come up here, and it did test this level. And if you're looking at the 15-minute, it was at a critical level. We thought we might get this breakout from this long downward trend of resistance. I'll show you a little bit on a higher time frame. This long downward trend of resistance right there. We thought we might get the breakout, the retest, and then the continuation. That would have been bullish. However, Bitcoin did get rejected right there at that line, and we are heading back down. And it is a significant drop as of right now. And we could say this, that if, let's see. Here would be your next line of support, around 36,800, right about here. That would be your first line of support there. And then your next line of support would be around 35,000, right around here. And then if that breaks, we're coming back down here to test the previous bounces. So those would be your levels of support. And we'll see what Bitcoin does. It is dropping quite heavily. And of course, you know, as the market changes, your thesis has to change. Your investment strategy has to change. That's one of the things about crypto. We knew down here we would be getting a pretty significant bounce. We did, and especially when it came up to there and it fell back down. We did know we got a nice bounce, and we got some good entry points when things started to come back down here. We did remain bullish for the next maybe $4,000 on the uptrend of Bitcoin. You know, some gains were made. No real losses, but, you know, we did have this portfolio right here with all these beautiful purchases, and as of right now, we exited those positions because we think that we didn't exit Kadena and we didn't exit Arweave. We're just holding those. This is nothing major, but we had to exit these positions because I think lower prices are coming. I mean, we bought Solana at about $93, so we stopped out in profit, so that was pretty good. So we're gonna continue watching this now. What do you think is gonna happen in the future? Is my question. So. Originally, if you remember, we thought we were going to come down to this about $30,000, $29,000 region. Now, my thinking after all of this is definitely changing, that this is just going to continue. That this could continue down into the 20s. And maybe we get some bounces in between here, you know, little fake bull traps all the way up. But really, I think over the next couple months even, that, I mean, here is, let's say it was going over here like March. All right, possibly all the way till summer. So we might be in crypto winter, where we get one final capitulation all the way down here into the teens over the summer, maybe late spring, and that would be where Bitcoin bottoms, in my opinion. And the reason for that thinking is that if you look back, the previous high is $20,000. Now, it's not to say that Bitcoin can't dip below its previous high, which it normally hasn't done historically, although markets change. So, you know, we can go a little bit lower. So we have another price target here of about 14,000. So, you know, I think that big purchases might need to be made at $20,000, and that can give us... Oh, I'm frozen. Hold on. Frozen for a second. There we go. We're back. We're back, ladies and gentlemen. Where was I? Talking about when to start buying. So, if you can accumulate some capital and keep the cash on the side and be patient and not be too antsy in the market, then it's possible you can get some really good buying opportunities. And I think that the main thing, the hardest thing for people in crypto, especially myself, is that when you see the price going up, you want to be in there. I mean, look at Solana, for example. This is my jam. I mean, I was there when Solana was about, you know, $87, thinking like, oh, I want it to go to $70. Well, if you bought Solana at $87 on all these little dips. You saw that dip there and that dip there. So you finally bought it around the same region. You know, you made a 20% profit off this little bounce here. That's not too shabby. Is it a risky move, though? Because really, Solana, for example, since we are big fans of Solana and this whole chart, Solana could have been coming back down here to about $70. You know, so the risk at buying 87 down to 70, you know, you're looking at another 15% downside or 15% upside. So, you know, it's equally weighted, you know, but if you want to lose 20% of your money going in on a trade just to see if it's going to bounce back up, you know, maybe it would have bounced back up to about 140. But as you can see, like we kind of expected Solana to come up to 140 from the bounce, because it's been quite a bit of a drop. And now it doesn't even seem like it's going to come up that high to even about 130 to test this previous support that would be flipped into resistance. So it's just, this goes to show you that nobody knows where this market is going to go. I think you're either bullish or you're bearish, and if you are bullish, then you just keep buying. If you are bearish, then it's time to stack your fiat on the side and wait for the dip. But that is very risky. Normally, the best strategy is to dollar cost average in. But being and looking at the macro sense of things, you know, you look at where Bitcoin is on this downtrend, and you can see like we've already dipped quite a bit, but it just doesn't feel bullish at all. And if you are looking at Heikin-Ashi candles, for example, you know, normally what you would see are these overshadows that signify a trend reversal. So let me give you an example here. You have an overshadow right here, right, and that signaled the trend reversal. You had an overshadow right here, that signaled the trend reversal. You had an overshadow right here, that signaled the trend reversal. We haven't gotten any overshadows. We got one here, but we were rejected. If you had bought there, you would have been, you know, experiencing some more downside. Do we expect another candle like that? If one does hit, you know, for it to be another like fake out, it's possible. But at least down lower, you're going to be dollar cost averaging it at better prices. Solana would be down there, you know, it might be $70 down there by that time. Now, that's not a bad buying price. You know, $100 is not the good buying price when you know it's going to 70. So, let's take a look at our overall crypto market. Let's do a little refresh here. Everything should be close to being red. We got some, look, oh, there we go. I was about to say, this doesn't make any sense. Yeah, there's our sea of red. Solana up 5% for the week. AVAX up 6% for the week. So these were the coins we were in. Coins, strong coins. Chainlink up for the week. FTX token up for the week. That's interesting. I like FTX token. It's hard to find FTX token. I go on FTX, their app, and even on this one, like, you can't buy it on there. So I don't understand what exchange you're supposed to be buying this on. You can buy it on KuCoin though. The only thing about KuCoin is I'll let you in on something, that if you buy Tether on Coinbase and you want to transfer it over to your KuCoin account, which is how you fund your KuCoin account, whenever I do it, I buy about $100 worth of Tether, and then I go to transfer it, and I'm left with about $90. So it costs you 10% of your money just to do one little transfer over to KuCoin. So, you know, you're already down 10% once you want to invest in something on KuCoin. So we do invest in Kadena on KuCoin because Kadena has a lot of upside with less downside. So Kadena is one thing that I would like to buy on KuCoin. Let's take a look at the Crypto Fear and Greed Index. We're probably a little bit higher than we were from yesterday. We're sitting at a 28 when previously we were sitting at a 26. After today, I expect this thing to come down back to probably about 23. We'll see. Take a look at the heat map. Sea of red. ICP up. That's ICP is a dying project. You guys want to look at the ICP chart real quick? Let's take a look at the ICP chart. ICP up for the day, possibly. Look at this chart. This chart is rubbish. Absolute rubbish. Look at this. It's a little blip on the radar. A little blip on the radar. Anyway, there's ICP for you. Let's go to a couple news stories here. Drew Brees to get paid in Bitcoin via NY Diggs BTC savings plan. Brees will take part of his salary in Bitcoin, and offer the option to his employees as well. Retired NFL quarterback turned entrepreneur Drew Brees has elected to take part of his salary in Bitcoin through NY Dig's new Bitcoin savings plan. For a long time, Bitcoin was pretty intimidating for me. The more I have immersed myself in the understanding of money, long-term value, and the history of finance, the importance of Bitcoin became apparent. So Drew Brees, a big proponent for Bitcoin. And a lot of these sports people and celebrities, they're all getting into crypto. I think that this is going to be like the main thing is the main thing in the crypto sphere is that the big gains have been gone. They're gone now. So, you can expect diminished returns, but it doesn't mean that you're not going to be able to make money in crypto. But me personally, I have some debts to pay and birthday presents to buy and stuff like that. So right now, it's not the best and optimal time for me to be investing in crypto. I am in love with cryptocurrency. I love the blockchain technology. I love the excitement about the adoption. I love the price action. And I love the small community that is crypto that seems like this little niche that goes against the regular financial markets and how they just kind of hold back the poor and kind of give more to the rich. So I'm a big proponent for crypto, but at the same time, crypto is very risky, and crypto can eat your money if you don't do it right. I always say that the best strategy, and this is the advice I give, not always the advice I take, but to dollar cost average in. But I don't mean to be buying dollar cost averaging in at these levels right here. You don't want to be dollar cost averaging in at 39,000. 33,000. Pretty good price to be dollar cost averaging in. Once it came back up to 40,000, that is not the time. So right here, we're on another dip. Is a good example of not getting in when you waiting for the dip to happen. I mean, like we think this dip could go all the way down here. It's not going to be a straight shot down, although that would be a crazy daily candle. I mean, even if you just looked at the previous dump, let's just measure that out just for fun. You just take that right here. I mean, you're looking at a $31,000 Bitcoin if it goes down that much in a day, which could happen. It happened right here, January 21st. It went down from 40,000 to approximately 35,000. That's a $5,000 candle. Today we're sitting at 38,000. Another $5,000 candle would put us right down here at 33,000. More than likely, I think that we get a little stall out around 34,000, somewhere in this range. I definitely think that, and more than likely, that's going to be where we end up stalling out. In the short term. So we did Drew Brees, but Alphabet exploring blockchain technology for flagship services. Google's parent company is reportedly exploring applying emerging tech to its main products and services. Google has started researching blockchain and how it will benefit Web3 technology. Anytime there's innovation, and I find it exciting, and I think it is something we want to support the best we can. The web has always evolved and is going to continue to evolve, and as Google, we have benefited tremendously from open source technologies, so we do plan to contribute there. Block, Twitter, Microsoft, and Meta have unveiled their plans for Web3 and services that utilize cryptocurrencies. So the big players are getting in, and they're getting in on the ground floor. And if you were before them, congratulations. You were in before everyone else was in. But the rest of us, a lot of us came here in 2021, and we plan on sticking around here for the long term to see what happens in this space because it's extremely exciting. So let's just go over here real quick. This is very, very, very important. So Bitcoin being taken off exchanges again, reaching the lowest since October 2018. So here you can see this orange line is the amount of Bitcoin left on exchanges versus the price in the gray line. The amount of Bitcoin left on exchanges is relevant because if there isn't a lot of Bitcoin on exchanges, it's becoming more scarce on exchanges, which means that its value goes up. And you might say, well, how come the price isn't going up the more Bitcoin is being taken off exchanges? And the reason for that is there's something called OTC, which is like an open desk trading platform for Bitcoin. And if you buy some Bitcoin on there and you take it off, it doesn't really affect the price that much. Just saying. Now, here's some exciting news because we are big Solana fans, is Solana Pay. So, Solana Pay is a new app for... Well, let's watch this video real quick.
So, how would you...
Can devs do something?
I don't know what this is about, but Solana Pay is very, very interesting. So let's just take a quick look at that real quick. So Solana Pay ushers in a new payments era. So the new customer walks into your store looking for the latest hot sneaker release. You have it in stock, and she's thrilled. She pulls out her phone and scans the QR code on the point of sale for a seamless transaction. The fund hit your merchant account at the speed of light, at the speed of sending an email, at near zero cost, and immediately began earning high yield interest. So, you know, here's one of the things. So 9 months later, the next version. I'll read this before. Before the customer leaves the store, two tokens appear in her digital wallet. The first is an NFT version of her new sneakers, usually an in-game virtual world that she chooses. The second is an authenticated NFT receipt, which admits her into exclusive online community of verified sneaker lovers. She's now a customer for life. 9 months later, the next version of her favorite sneaker drops. Her digital wallet has a new offer reminding her of the availability at your store, along with her personalized offer and new on new laces that she can find anywhere else. So, you know, this is very, very exciting. They kind of lay out what the future can look like for these different types of payment systems and tokenization of different companies. So, you know, again, I'm real bullish on Solana. They have so many developers on Solana, and it's probably one of the most fastest growing ecosystems. You know, price does not dictate sentiment, all right? Sentiment does. And if you're looking at price for Solana, you're looking in the wrong place. Taking a quick look back at Bitcoin, we are sitting at 37,000, about 200. And let's reset this right here. And it looks like we are starting to stall out a little bit. As you can see, the RSI is extremely oversold on the 1 minute. I mean, the 15 minute. The RSI is approaching oversold on the 1 hour. But looking here on the 4 hour, it has some room to run down. 8 hour has a lot more room to run down. We're getting a little cross here on the MACD that could come back down. So it does look like we are being headed towards lower prices over the remainder of this week, and possibly dump February, maybe something we coin. Although we can expect a bounce around 30K, a pretty significant bounce. What we're waiting for is to break this trend line. This downward sloping trend line right there, we are waiting to break that. Once that breaks, you're going to see a really nice move back up to the upside. But until this line breaks, this is the only line you need to know. Until that line breaks, there will be not many moves up to the upside. So, that being said, stay safe. Don't panic sell your crypto unless you're hodling. Follow the opposite of what I do, because normally what I do is terrible in crypto, like selling all of my crypto just now. But thinking that we're going to be hitting lower prices. Otherwise, you should DCA, hodl, and you will achieve life-changing wealth. So hopefully you can join me. You can stay here with me on this journey as I document it in these little videos of going from zero to something with cryptocurrency. Eventually, this will happen. This is going to happen. You just have to have patience. You have to do the right thing. And patience, patience, patience. Our next price target is 30K. I'm going to say it right now. I'll continue making videos, but I will not be investing any money until it hits in the 20s at the very least. And even then, we're going to evaluate where Bitcoin is going. The fear should be so extreme at this point. We've been in extreme fear forever, but I've never been in a bear market. I never know how bad it can actually get. I imagine that when you think it can go lower, it just keeps going lower until that breaking point. You know, a lot of people are calling for 10K Bitcoin. I mean, maybe they're right. Some people are calling for 20K Bitcoin. Maybe they're right. Maybe it's somewhere in between. But I think it's like when you want to start buying is where you want to start, you know, laddering in your buys. I think in the 20s is a great area. But for me personally, A lot of my emotions are attached by how much money I have in my bank account. Without money to pay your bills and to live, you're never going to be able to invest in crypto. That's the truth. So get your life right first. You got to get your life right first and then do crypto. All right? You do very little bit of crypto if you need to. Very little bit. I'm talking about $25 a week at the very most. If you really need to get your feet wet. But otherwise, no. You need to take care of your credit cards. You need to take care of your student loans. You need to take care of your regular bills, your kids if you have any. Okay? You have to make sure that everyone else in your life is happy before you can move forward in this kind of market, because it can be very, very, very time consuming. It can wrap up your brain like no other, and you can become addicted to crypto real quick. I mean, I've been addicted to crypto for at least a year now, and it hasn't been the greatest year in my opinion. It really hasn't. It's been a very, very hard year. You know, I lost a lot of money in crypto, but I can see how money is made in crypto. I see the path, and I want to walk the path, but it takes patience and discipline. And without patience and discipline, you will get hammered in the crypto market. So every day we are going to be talking about our patience and discipline, and how we're going to be attacking this market with patience and discipline. So patience and discipline, that is where we're headed with this podcast or YouTube channel, or whatever you want to call it. All right, so join me on my journey. We're going to do this. We're going to get this money. 4-year cycles, patience and discipline. Collect the fiat. Collect it. Start collecting. Don't invest in crypto yet. It's not the time. It is not the time. You have to have conviction and be so sure of yourself that these little fake bull rallies or whatever they're called, you know, that these don't get you bullish. Because look, you know, we dropped here, right? Everybody got bullish, we dropped. Everyone got bullish, we dropped. Everyone got bullish, we dropped. Everyone got bullish, we're dropping. So, I mean, you think probability-wise, how many more times could this happen? Apparently, it can just keep happening. Apparently, it just keeps happening. So, I mean, at least on this one, we were pretty smart. You know, we bought low there. We bought low, and basically we've been stopped out right there. So we haven't lost any of our capital, which is really, really good. So it's just time to be more patient now with the capital. If the next bounce wants to come there at 30,000, I don't know if I even want to put money in at that point, because everyone's going to be looking at that level, and I think when everyone's looking at that level for a bounce, it's probably going to break and go a little bit lower and then bounce. And again, what kind of bounces are you looking for? I mean, I do look at this chart and I go, at what point are we going to see a string of green candles here? At some point, we're going to need to see a string of green candles at least come up and retrace a little bit on the weekly. I mean, it's just what needs to happen. I mean, look at the weekly RSI. Look at the weekly stock. You know, they're just bottomed out. You know, let's look at the daily. The daily still sitting on the stochastic is pretty high there. So just something to note. But on the weekly, things look, you know, they're looking good. But I mean, take another look here. Look at how long the stochastic was down here for, right? I mean, it was down here from pretty much April, the mid-April, to mid-July. So, right? May, June, July, 3 months. The stochastic has only been down here for about a month and a half. So we could have another month and a half of downwards movement and have the stochastic just stay down there. And the RSI just run down here and kind of make these little fake pumps as we go until we start to bottom out. Just a thought. You know, I think the mindset is important, whether you're a bull or you're a bear. You just have to have conviction in whatever you are at the moment. You can't be flipping bullish and then bearish within the same week. Okay? You're either bullish this month or bearish this month. You're either bullish for the next 2 months or you're bearish the next 2 months. So right now, we are declaring this a bear channel. This is a bear channel until the end of March. Okay? or until Bitcoin hits 20K. We are declaring that right now. Bitcoin to 20K. Let's go. Bears channel. See you in the next video.